Hey guys, this is Roman Kozlov, your local real estate here in Denver metro area, Colorado. My phone number is 720-451-7049. Today I am with Denis Avilov, the mortgage guy who can help you out with financing your future purchases or refinancing current ones. And I want to ask you a few questions to Dennis, kind of introduce him better so you guys know who he is. He has his mortgage company, Footprint Mortgage. He's been in the business for how many years?
It's been 9 years now.
9 years in the business, so you're pretty experienced. How busy are you, sir?
Uh, you know, re- Lately in the last 2 years, the business has been kind of been slow, but currently I think we have about 9 loans in the pipeline, and it's pretty busy for this time. Um, with in the very high rate market environment. So I'd say we're staying pretty busy. Sometimes it gets a little overwhelming, but we're happy to be busy.
Well, you said overwhelming, but you also have a side job, which is a full-time being a firefighter, and also recently you became an engineer, if I'm correct.
It's been 5 or 6 years since I've become an engineer, which is uh, a glorified name for a driver. So I do drive fire trucks for a living. I love it, and I'm glad to be a part of it.
Excellent. Well, thank you for that. Thank you for serving the community. I drove buses before and then supervised bus drivers for RTD for many years, and now I'm full-time a real estate agent. But what about you? Are you going to be sticking around with driving or the fire truck, or are you going to focus only on loans?
Yeah, I think I'm going to try doing both things at the same time. To be honest with you, doing mortgages is a little bit more stressful than firefighting.
Oh, wow.
So when we go to the firehouse, I mean, it's when we do get emergencies, it can be pretty stressful, but most of the time, we just have a good time. We train, we go on calls, come back. With mortgages, it's stress 24/7. I mean, we go to bed around 11 o'clock and wake up in the morning, and it's stressful from 5 o'clock in the morning.
So it's a go, 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 high stress environment.
Most of the time, yeah. Sometimes when we get slow, we do enjoy the slower times, but then when it's busy, you got to perform.
Yes, sir. So about that, performing wise, I want to ask you a question. Why would anybody choose you over your competition? There are many pretty powerful companies in the area, loan originators. Why Dennis versus anybody else?
I think the biggest thing that I strive for is transparency. I do go with the client through the scenario. I record a video in the very beginning of the process, going into details and having a record of what we talked about. I like to compare a video that I record at the end of the transaction, saying, "Hey, here's what you guys are getting," but I also want to compare that to what I was promising people in the very beginning. So I don't try to sugarcoat it and try to show it in this great light that everything's going to be easy, that your payment's going to be this much, it's going to be so low, and then when you get in the process and your taxes come back a little bit higher, your insurance that you quoted was not very, very realistic. So I tried to set that expectation from the very get-go, and I think transparency, that's how I would like to be treated. Whenever I buy a car, whenever I do any business dealings and I deal with a salesman, I expect transparency and honesty. If I see transparency and honesty, sometimes even if they're not the cheapest, I'm going to go with them because of that. And that's what I try to strive for as well. I'd say that's probably the biggest thing.
I think that's one of the reasons I like to work with you. When you help my people, my clients, you're very involved every step of the way. So thank you for that. And I just wanted to kind of transition to another question. I'm curious, what would be the best? Who is your best client? Like, what do the viewers need to do in order for you to make your job easy to help them purchase a house that they want to buy?
Just being responsible. I'd say when we talk about pre-qualification, of course, it's easier to qualify a person that has everything in check, right? Their credit is great, they don't have any debt, they're showing enough on their income, they actually have a realistic expectation of what they could qualify for. But I think once we're under contract or even before prepping, the biggest thing is to have the client to be responsible with the documents. When we ask for documents, to send them on time, and then that's all that we ask for. Like, hey, let's get you pre-qualified. I send a link. We ask for documents. Once we're pre-qualified, we'll look for homes, and then once we're under contract, all that we ask for is, send us documents in time. We'll guide you through the process. If you want us to be very detailed, if you want us to tell you every single detail about the process, we'll do that. Some people don't like that, so they're like, hey, just get us a loan, and I'll compress all that information into a manageable 5-minute video explaining everything, because I don't want them to take my word for my honesty or the process. I want them to compare the process, and at the end I want them to be happy, and that's why we make the push for transparency and for the record, so then our clients at the end of the process can compare to what we were promising to them in the very beginning. Yeah, just send us documents on time and we won't have any issues.
So I see you focus on transparency, communication, so it's like a back and forth communication, and just timeliness. When something needs to be done now, please make sure to do it now.
A lot of the mortgage business is a hurry up and wait type of stuff, right? You need to get something urgently, and then you wait. So a lot of times when the file gets pre-underwritten, or let's say we go under contract, we have a contract in Florida right now, and we needed to win that contract with a very fast closing date. So we were we had the timeline of 2.5 weeks. So once we were under contract, we're hurrying up. We get all the documents, we submit everything to underwriter, then we wait. Could be a day, sometimes it's 2, and then once the conditions come out, we need to work on them to get to submit them as soon as possible back to the underwriter so they can take a look at it again. So a prime example today, we're rushing from the morning to get the documents. As soon as I got the documents, I submitted them to the underwriter, and now we're just waiting. It's a waiting game. So yeah, a lot of hurry up and wait.
All right, so you mentioned Florida. Can you tell us how and which markets you actually cover, so which states, and how can people find you? What's your information?
Yeah, we cover Colorado and Florida for now. I don't think we're going to expand because we get plenty of business from those 2 states. We mainly do businesses. We mainly do business in Jacksonville area and Tampa, Sarasota. But we can do business anywhere in the state of Florida. So we're not just tied to those geographical places. A lot of people moved from Denver to Colorado, and when the market was slow, I was actually having more business in Florida than here in Colorado. So we can do we can do loans anywhere in the state of Colorado, anywhere in the state of Florida. We might be thinking about expanding, but when you're a broker owner, meaning that if you own your mortgage company, it's not just myself, my license that needs to be licensed in those states, but the company has to be licensed in there as well. And that comes with a lot of paperwork. And if we don't do a lot of business in a particular state, we'd rather refer that business versus trying to go through everything and then just do 1 or 2 loans every 2 years. So it doesn't make sense. But yeah, Florida and Colorado for now.
And how would a client find you? Like, what's the first steps if they want to buy and say, all right, they got me as their realtor, as their agent, and how would they find you? What's your information like?
Yeah, I'd say the best way is the cell phone. I try to be available from 7 o'clock in the morning until 11 because when people call you, they expect you to pick up the phone. So that's very important, and that's something that we really try to strive for. We can't always answer the phone, but today when you called me, right, I couldn't answer, but you got the text message.
I did.
Hey, I can't answer right now. Can I call you back? And then once I'm done with my phone, I call people back. People appreciate that. My cell phone number is 720-224-8706. You can also email me at dennis@footprintmortgage.com or go to our website, footprintmortgage.com.
Well, thank you for your time, Dennis. I really appreciate it. Always a pleasure working with you. We met with Dennis in church, and godly man who fears God, serves his community, and helps people buy houses. Thank you so much, Dennis.